Look up HR 645 and see what it says, and you'll find out we're telling you the truth. We'll be back after our next break with our swine flu report here on the Real News Radio.
Is Real News Radio, exposing government corruption, defending our Constitution, demanding the rights of we the people, broadcasting the truth. The puppet media dare not report. Long live liberty and death to the New World Order. Prepare yourself. This is Real News Radio with your host, Farron.
Welcome to the Real News Radio. This is your weekly broadcast where we discuss the disinformation, falsehoods, and propaganda proposed by the corporate-owned puppet media. And each week we've been doing a swine flu report, and I want to get started on that. This week it was reported in the Healthcare Republic, August 25th, 2009, most doctors reject swine flu vaccine. Up to 60% of Great Britons may choose not to be vaccinated against swine flu. With many concerned about the safety of the vaccine, a GP newspaper survey suggests of 216 general practitioners who responded to the survey, 29% said they would not opt to receive the swine flu vaccine, and a further 29% said they were not sure whether they would or not. Of those who would refuse vaccination, 71% said they were concerned that the vaccine had not been thoroughly sufficient in trials to guarantee its safety. Professor David Salisbury, Director of Immunization, told Healthcare Republic, the website for GP newspaper, that frontline health workers had a duty to themselves regarding the vaccination. They have a duty to their patients not to infect their patients, and they have a duty to their families, he said. I think you solve those responsibilities by taking the vaccination. And also, this past week, it was reported in the Charleston Daily Mail, August 26, 2009, Charleston Medical Center tells employees to get vaccine or lose jobs. You know, we just discussed what their options were if they did this last hour. But Charleston, West Virginia, Charleston Area Medical Center employees must get seasonal flu shots this year or risk losing their jobs. Now, I'm reading directly from the Charleston Daily Mail. All CAMC healthcare system workers must get vaccinated by December 15th or their employment will be terminated, CAMC said in its August newsletter. The strongest recommendations that's out there is to take the vaccine every year, CAMC Director of Epidemiology Terry Lee said Tuesday. Our board of trustees and administrators had been discussing this for a couple of years. We decided this year to make it mandatory process for all of our employees. Employees may submit a request for accommodation due to health reasons such as allergies. They have until September 15th to do so, and if requests are confirmed, those employees would have to wear a mask over their nose and mouth while working during the flu season, the newsletter said. Other than that, all those that do not take the vaccination will be terminated. So we're already seeing this start here in America, losing your jobs if you do not submit to the swine flu shots. We have a clip that we want to play, and this is of Wayne Madison, this investigative journalist. He reports some very interesting information, and this is on Russia Today. Now, this is their kind of version of Good Morning America or the Today Show. And it doesn't astonish me anymore. They put out better information than our own media. But listen to what this gentleman has to say. We're going to go ahead and play that clip now.
Side, and the US has started to test a swine flu vaccine on children and adults. The US Department of Health and Human Services hopes to vaccinate at least 160 million people by December. Well, for more on this, let's cross to our correspondent Priya Sridhar, who's in our Washington studio for us. Hello to you, Priya. So what are the hopes for this new vaccine?
Thanks, Well, the swine flu vaccine has raised concerns with people across the world. A new survey shows that 1/3 of British nurses have said that they will not take the swine flu vaccine because they're worried about the possible side effects. Now, the swine flu vaccine from back in the 1970s, which is supposed to be pretty similar to the one that's being offered today, has been linked to a neurological disorder called the Guillain-Barré syndrome. And joining me to discuss all of this is RT contributor and investigative journalist Wayne Madsen. Wayne, thanks so much for joining me. First of all, can you tell me who has taken the swine flu vaccine so far, and what have you heard about it?
Well, apparently there has been a test community used already. We're also hearing that the vaccine that's being developed, they're saying it's not for everyone. Apparently children were used as for lack of a better term, guinea pigs in Oklahoma. I know from talking to people in the research community, even scientists who helped develop the vaccine for smallpox are saying they're not going to take the vaccine and urging their friends and family not to take this vaccine either.
And what kind of side effects did these children have, if any?
Well, contained in the vaccine is a component called thimerosal, which has been proven, half of it is composed of mercury, and it's been proven to cause not only Guillain-Barré syndrome, but also autism in young children. There's been several court cases because of past vaccinations due to the autism issue.
And so how will the swine flu vaccine be offered? Will it be mandatory for people? What have you heard about that?
Well, there was a conference here in Washington last week where we have two themes present. We have the research community, the medical community, saying, look, what we need to provide the public is good information. Let them make the decision based on facts. We have the emergency community, the Homeland Security, Federal Emergency Management Agency people talking about forced vaccinations, forced quarantines, basically the politicians running the show instead of the people who are from the medical community and know much better about the threat of this particular influenza.
And so how effective would a vaccine be if the majority of people decide not to take it?
Well, for those who take it, of course, they can limit their exposure to others. But what we're basically hearing is there's a anti-vaccine movement now starting across America. As one person said from the public health community, said these people are revving up, almost like this is the enemy, and not they're going to invoke all these various protocols for emergency situations, treating these people who don't want to take the vaccine, forcing children as a predicate to enroll in school, for example, to take the vaccine is going to cause quite a few problems here amongst the public in the United States.
And how much testing was actually done on this vaccine? How come we weren't able to find one that would, not have all these side effects?
Well, the testing, we're hearing, of course, there may be a recommendation for 3 vaccinations, 2 for the swine flu, 1 for the regular seasonal flu. But we all know about the side effects from 1975 and 76, and therefore this vaccine, even amongst people who work in the medical community, is not considered safe.
And when are these decisions likely to happen? When will they decide if this will be mandatory or not?
We're hearing that this second wave of the flu for the Northern Hemisphere will strike sometime at the end of September and reach peak in October, possibly. This is actually what happened with the 1918 flu. First cases in September, peaked in October, ebbed off in November. So we'll probably see this vaccination program come into full effect next month.
Well, as we get closer to the deadline that they're supposed to be offering these swine flu vaccines, we'll be sure to keep you updated on anything we hear about it. But for now, back to you in Moscow.
All right, Priya, many thanks to you and your guests for that. Priya Sridhar in our Washington studio for us.
Okay, that was Wayne Madsen on Russia Today. Apparently, the Russian media is concerned with what's going on here in America. They're preparing 160 million doses of the vaccine. 1/3 of the British nurses will not take the vaccine. They're testing it on children as guinea pigs. Scientists will not take the vaccine. The vaccine contains mercury. The conference that they had that we reported on, possibility of forced vaccinations, forced quarantines. The medical community is saying it's not safe. They're calling for you to take 3 shots, 2 that's a swine flu, and then the 1 seasonal shot. And they're saying that it will be, if this is going to happen, it will come out in late September, early October. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I hope it don't. But there's certainly a lot of preparation and a lot of information that's coming out. I mean, in light of some of the legislation that we've talked about, H.R. 645 and some of the others with internment camps,